Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, a man who's filled to the brim with exotic matter. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm huge, baby. Let's go.
Love it. Love it so much. Can you see, if you had to pick a tribute band that you think you can pull off, do you have one? Like, do you have your song sung blue, your Thunder and Lightning, whatever as it were?
I honestly do not. Do you?
No. I don't think so either. I've never been like where somebody said, oh, you look like this, or that I liked a band enough that I think I could pull off their sound, I think, as like a front man. But like I guess at some point in my life, maybe I would have tried to be Pearl Jam or something, which is ironic considering. Yeah,
surprisingly, not my favorite band. But if I could be a cover band, I would cover Tears for Fears. Don't ask me why.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that would be the band. Them or Supertramp. Don't judge me.
Okay. See, again, I guess you would have to just have the full love, because to me, when I hear some of those, I'm like, oh, but they only have like 2 or 3 hits or something to me. But again, we always go through this where you're a little older than me, and it might have been something bigger, maybe something I'm missing, but yeah, that it still sounds fun, man. Either way,
yeah,
anything with like an iconic look or a certain sound, I think it's always worth doing.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, the thing that we're doing today is 5 burning questions of things that came through across our desk out there in the theaters or at home. 5 burning questions on a bunch of movies, series, and things that we're just keeping our eye on for the end of the year here. Shane, this is quite a smattering. A lot of nerdy stuff up top. I'm very excited. But also, obviously, what we caught over the weekend, which a very interesting time at the box office, where certain things are hitting that I am shocked are hitting. Avatar's kind of still doing its thing, but I feel like the strength of that is weakening. But it's just a weird time out there, and I'm just hoping that all these theaters make enough bucks, because Lord knows January outside of like 28 days later or something, I'm already staring like too many commercials of Primate in my face. You know what I'm saying?
And what's wrong with that, buddy?
I guess. Are you hyped for that one? That is not one of my 5 burning questions, but are you actually into that?
I'm not hyped, but I am. I do want to see it. Yes.
That is one of those movies that is like, I wish I took drugs sometimes. Just like I can roll to the theater, be already on something real strong, and just like laugh at fucking Monkey Danger for 2 hours. That would be fun.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah, but let's start up top, Shane, because we're already mid-res with this latest season, the series finale season 5 of Stranger Things. We already covered part 1, so if you want our feelings on that, you can go back. I believe it's a couple episodes now for our breakdown of that and what our thoughts were. But Shane, I'll ask the first burning question, buddy, because this part 2 just dropped over the holidays. Do you feel more or less pumped for the Stranger Things series finale, with tickets in hand to see it in a movie theater, mind you, after watching part 2 over this past little weekend that we had this Christmas holiday?
I personally am less pumped now to see it. I'll get into the reasons here, but I actually am more pumped to see it in the theater, because if they're going to crash land the plane here, I want to be in front of a full movie theater and have them throw their popcorn and drinks and go bananas while it happens.
You must be reading my text messages with my friends. I can't believe you're just literally pulling those out. The same thoughts are in my head. I literally had someone send me, after we had a conversation in public, in person, with talking about, imagine if you watched the Game of Thrones finale in a movie theater and just the groans and the madness that would have ensued in person. with that many people, that collective hive mind, if you will, of just people just collectively going, are you fucking kidding me? Like, imagine
Yeah.
just like it's something we just don't do anymore. So I am hyped for if it rebounds, it's good. If it sucks, it's still kind of fun,
Yep.
but it just can't just be like meh, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, I like the Shock Jock episode. That was probably my favorite out of the three that dropped. I did like Escape from Comatas or whatever they called
Why
it.
am I forget? Kamazats.
Kamazats. Yeah, I liked Escape from Kamazats, but man, that bridge episode, holy moly. It took all the air out of me. And not just I'm sure we'll get into the whole last scene of that episode, but just the Jonathan and Nancy stuff when they're in the room and they're doing the whole unproposal stuff. I was over that real quick.
I've been out on their relationship, and I think that's kind of what the show is telling you anyway, but they to make it this big of a thing and still have them survive is just okay. And again, like you could clearly see that they were using like the Titanic door kind of a scenario. You could see all the different quote Easter egginess or the setup of it, but it still didn't make me feel any better about it because I didn't quote to quote the kids. I didn't ship this relationship. I wasn't standing this relationship from any point because I think they're two very different people that I just didn't care for at various times throughout this whole series.
Don't care. But hopping off that episode, like the most cringeworthy thing I think I saw in all three episodes is when the Demodog, they're in the laundry room with Max and everything.
Yeah. And
Mrs. Wheeler comes in and the whole dryer, when you hear the Demodog audibly say, uh-oh, or some sound like that. Did you catch that?
I didn't really catch that. No.
I was like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? It literally did like a uh-oh kind of thing.
Like a yeah.
And I'm like uh-oh. And I'm like, what is going on here? I thought there's too much screen time for Holly Wheeler. I thought
that's definitely one of my points.
She overshadowed the entire cast. Mike at this point is useless. Winona Ryder hasn't done anything at all. The only part I did like in the bridge episode was the Dust and Steve fight and dust up and then reconnecting.
Yeah, I can't have you die too. Yeah, or if you die, we die. You know, whatever.
Yeah, but man, the Linda Hamilton stuff hasn't paid off, and we didn't even get into 8. Like, I don't even like that story aspect of that. So anyway, go ahead. I just had a multitude of issues. Derek again, funny as hell. Suck a fat one, and like when Vecna had him pinned down, he's like, "Where'd you get the map?" He's like, "Your mom." I'm like, I thought that was hilarious. That worked. There were segments that worked, but overall, this was all over the place, and it got too cheesy. And we'll break it down when we get into the whole Will last scene, which drove me insane.
Yeah, the cheese is one thing. My big takeaway from this is two things. One, I absolutely agree about the Holly Wheeler thing. And when you were about to bring up the quote worst scene or the worst, whatever it was that you mentioned, the worst thing in this part, I was thinking the Max and Holly Wheeler conversation where they literally put on the brakes while they're trying to make an escape from hell, essentially. And you're just like, hold on, I have to tell you that we've been doing this for basically the bulk of multiple episodes, but I'm going to tell you now, of all things, to tell you that you're not coming with me. I'm sorry, no one cares. And that you have to find your own thing. Like, I have Lucas and I have the song or whatever. I have all these things that I could go through this portal, but you won't reconnect to your body or whatever. You got to find your own thing. It's like, whoa, how did you not bring that up by now? And why are you taking so long to make this explanation when you already have failed seeing your escape once before? And you're just like, hold on, let me just break this down for you real quick and just and talk about it. Like, I was crawling out of my skin. Like, are you kidding me? So, and then of course that just gives, and then Holly almost immediately is just like, oh, cool, look, I can leave now. Okay. And then doesn't, and then it's a whole to do. But no, the other thing for me is the nerds took over this part because one of the things that we probably talked about before the season even started was we were like, we don't want this to be some overly complex thing where we're adding and adding and adding and adding and adding, but that we want stuff to be actually just crystallize, and then formulate the final plan. I don't like, now we're just adding so much shit, and adding characters back in too while we're at it. We're talking wormholes, we're talking the abyss, we're talking the bridge, we're talking exotic matter, we're talking all these extra things to try to get some form of a plan between the Operation Beanstalk thing, and then Steve is the one who comes up with that when you got all these nerds coming around. It's like, okay, fine, but like you literally have a fucking science teacher here and he's not the guy. Dustin's explaining everything else, he's not the guy. It's a very interesting thing. The Mrs. Wheeler thing, I'm surprised you didn't bring that was also ridiculous, that this woman who like couldn't speak like hours prior and is like in a hospital bed and just hears something over the intercom and she can make the big blow. And she knows exactly where to go and how to, like,
that bothered me too. And I think we're going to assume that Mr. Wheeler's is dead at this point, right? Because no mention of him.
This is my favorite thing of like everybody who like covers Stranger Things on the podcast level that I've listened to. Everybody is like, fuck Ted Wheeler, I guess. Like that, like it's like, okay, so the mother, like when they went to go visit the mother, nobody said anything about visiting dad. We covered that the last time.
Yep.
And then now it's like, okay, well, they're all here again and we're seeing her and still no mention of Ted Wheeler. And then his kids come back finally out of the upside down. And has anyone gone, so how's dad?
Yeah.
Not a fucking mention. So like he's just completely just nope. That guy. Even though he's the one who took the first blow from the Demogorgon and actually tried to slow things down and help. Nope.
Yeah. So
it's
forget
either
about
like, he's probably dead, right? We don't need to worry about that.
Forget justice for Barb. We need justice for Ted.
Oh, 100%. And then, of course, the most meme thing, which again is a delicate subject because it is emotionally powerful to some more than others, but like the whole Will thing at the end there to kind of go what he has to, admit to, so that way it's not a weakness that Vecna can expose and yada, yada, yada. It does seem a little bit like that's the one thing that Vecna was hoping you weren't going to do. We're at the second to last episode, and this is the stand that has to happen. And then on top of it, somebody pointed this out, and I laughed really hard. So if you actually take when Max went into a coma, like that part, what Will's relationship to Max was at that time, and then what Will and Max have a moment when he comes out in front of all of them and does all that. He hated her. Yeah. Like he hated all the girlfriend stuff during the time because they were taking time away from him and all his friends were going with the girls and he couldn't keep up. He didn't want to. He obviously didn't have a girlfriend and obviously didn't even have a boyfriend or whatever. He didn't have that. And obviously his relationship with Mike is complicated in that way already. But like, yeah, he hated the fact that Max was taking up all that time with his friends. And then there was no like big moment in between. Then she's in a coma for a long time. Why did they get a private moment to be like, hey, you need to come over here and hug me and all this stuff and have a like, I guess it's sort of trauma bonding now that she's been in Vecna's control, but like, okay.
But
it's not well established. It's just one of those like, okay.
And that scene was just so agonizingly long. And I'm like, I just want to, today, Junior, get it out. And then it was just so cheesy and over the top. He's like, I'll I'll stand with you and whatever. And they all start getting off the couch and doing the group hug. I just
Yeah.
wanted to
Yo,
like rip
Captain, my Captain.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just wanted to rip the skin off my face while I was watching that. Like that whole scene, it's like they reduced. I don't know. I just have issues with. And now, like you reduced season 5 in Stranger Things to a meme. Like that meme has been everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like the will meme. I'm like,
Yeah.
it just,
Yeah.
it's just come on, man. Like,
And Eleven's reaction. There's been a lot of stuff from that scene is just out there. So I think this is what's bothering me is that like we didn't kill anybody off.
no,
We added more characters. We were kind of almost talking from what I heard too is that a lot of the big information that's in this season as far as like the science stuff is explained in the Stranger Things play that's been out there in England for a while that like if you saw the play that you know a lot of this stuff already, like that you have inside information. And I'm like, well, that's fucked up.
oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So like between the I guess they called it something X, like instead of the abyss, they named Vecna's land already in the play and all this stuff. So like they knew the difference. And I'm like, okay, well that's shitty. But to me, I'm like, I don't know. It just feels like they just keep adding and adding and adding and adding things and making it more and more complicated. Like I watched kind of like an explainer video of sorts of even just the final episode, right? And and they're just going, this thing happened in season 1 and this thing happened in season 4 and this thing happened that you should know this and you should know this and you should know this. And I'm like, what? I'm like, there should be no homework at this point. There should be just bang, 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 things line up. Like they're already saying like, we have 1 episode left, Shane. And they're already saying like, but is Henry/Vecna actually the villain? It's like, what? What are we doing?
I know.
What are we doing? Why is there 2 hours left of this show? And we're sitting here going, well, the mind flayers really, who is the mind flayer? It's like, what? What are we doing? I don't.
Yeah, and it just makes me nervous about the last episode. Are they going to resolve everything and everything is going to tie up into a nice bow? You know, we're going to get a good ending. Like I have no faith because, like you said, they have all of these new characters now. And so far, unless something happens in like the last hour of the last episode, like we wanted the original group of kids, like the original gang, to be the ones.
Yeah, we wanted it to pare down, not expand.
Right, but it doesn't seem that way now, right?
No,
it just seems like So who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I think I'm going to have a good time watching people lose their shit. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and they keep adding with the Abyss thing too, and a few other things. They keep adding D&D references too, to where it's making me still even more nervous that this is just more and more D&D reference things. I don't, and if they did all that Wrinkle in Time stuff, and it doesn't actually pay off in terms of where it goes, it's like, oh well, then what did you just pick up a book and there's like just figure out how to make one more little Easter egg there or make it palpable for Holly Wheeler, which by the way, I heard in an interview with the Duffers that Holly Wheeler, they didn't figure that part out until they wrote this season. Like a lot of stuff, all this stuff was premeditated. A lot of things have been premeditated, but not Holly Wheeler by even a remote. Like that was just something they invented for this season. Now she's dominating the season.
Oh yeah, she's a star. She is the star of the season, for sure, whether we want it or not.
Yeah, because everything is through her.
Yeah,
because everything that's happened is through either the abduction of the kids, the Camazotz stuff, the escape from there. I mean, everything is the stuff inside the Henry's house. Everything flows through her. That matters. Like everything that's not with the fight against Vecna, and even then, she's the one who discovers the connection piece between the Abyss, the Upside Down, and Hawkins. You know, by crawling through a rock formation that seems open in the Abyss. Like all these things is Holly Wheeler. And I'm like, good God. And when it's not Holly Wheeler, it's, some Wheeler taking over, it seems like, and less about the main core 4 or core 5, whatever you want to call it. And honestly, if the one thing I'm getting out of 11 is just the fact that she might have to sacrifice herself for the good of everything, seems pretty fucking shitty too. And that we're getting more from her twisted sister, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way we're kind of going. But I just don't think that's going to play, because Hopper's on the 8 as it is and doesn't trust her. So I think they're just trying to like misdirect us right now. Like, I don't think that's going to come to fruition. Something's going to break.
How many times are we going to?
I know.
Are we going to turn around and go, oh, well, if all these people survive, right? Then are we just going to be mad about all those little blips to Hopper, looking to sacrifice himself, thinking about his daughter and all those things? Are we going to be mad that they did that multiple times and then he still doesn't die? And then, there's all those things pointing to, well, Steve might have to die because he's the one who's probably going to climb the tower, like the same way him and Jonathan climbing the radio tower, that's going to come back to the same, that they're going to climb the tower and do the beanstalk thing. Well, so, but it's like, I don't even know if I fully understand the plan. No, I'd have to go back and rewatch because it was a lot to take in all at once.
It was.
And now it's going to be huge.
My prediction is none of the main characters are going to die in the finale. I think they all.
Yeah.
I really do. I think all the core gang is going to come out.
Yeah, I guess if we wanted to like do the update without belaboring this to get to our other questions, but the death poll, like the death rankings of like who we think is still on the possible chopping block. Unfortunately, the people who are rising are people who they literally just added.
Yeah.
Like her sister is probably high up on it.
Yep. I think she's gone. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel so let down. I just feel so let down.
And I know myself, I'm going to watch a bunch more of these like kind of explainer things, and I'm going to watch more like stuff to try to at least get my mind in the right position going into the finale. But I also want to just say openly, I shouldn't have to do that at this stage.
No, you shouldn't.
I shouldn't have to do any of this stuff. I should be just enjoying it. And again, we enjoyed part 1.
Yeah, we did.
So we just went, all right, well, I think we have enough time to maybe settle this, and this, and we could get it all together and it'll be fine. I don't feel that way at this point.
Nope, not at all.
I think there's 2 hours. I think there's going to be, they literally, again, the Duffers have had interviews out there where they're like, don't worry, we'll have everything wrapped up. There'll be no unanswerable questions when everything is. I'm like, how? Like, it's either that the answer is not going to be this beanstalk thing and that it's going to end up being something else that is going to come out of another discovery that they're going to make somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I just don't understand how you can have, again, like a full football roster, it feels like, of players at this point and then get satisfaction for everything because they're all still around.
Yeah. But, I mean, we'll find out New Year's Eve and New Year's Day for us respectively, so.
I know. I will do my best to not send you anything.
Yeah, please don't.
Like, not even like, like I did with, we'll get to it later, Marty Supreme, where I was like, Marty Supreme with an exclamation point. Like, I at least did that, trying to get you to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to see it too. Good. But we'll talk about that soon enough. But so I guess the ultimate answer is not enthused, but also kind of in a twisted way, hoping to see how it will pan out in front of, that many people all at once.
Yes. Yes.
All right, moving on. Another thing that happened that we were kind of waiting on, because right after we got the Supergirl trailer, there were rumors out there that we are going to get an Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer 1 year away from the release of that film. And it seemed to take a while, but they eventually came out with a teaser trailer that only featured one character. And it probably wasn't the one that we were thinking of, considering it's not in the name of the movie. Wink, wink. But I will ask this question, Shane. Which will be better? Avengers Doomsday, the movie, or Avengers Doomsday parody, where they turned that teaser trailer featuring Captain America, Steve Rogers, as a Sky Rizzy drug commercial?
I want to say Avengers Doomsday the movie, but I think the Sky Rizzy represent commercial would be hysterical. Because
it was fucking perfect.
It felt like that. Even the Thor one that I saw, same exact thing. I'm like, what are we doing?
Oh, I didn't see that. What are you talking about?
They dropped a teaser for Thor. So just like Steve Rogers, it was just like Thor slowly walking through the woods.
And it's like he will return.
And he's saying a prayer to Odin, and it's him like going to see his daughter in the bedroom. And that's how it ends, like with the Doomsday clock.
Oh, I didn't know that's out there. That's real?
Yeah, it's real.
Oh, are they going to just do this for every fucking character now?
Well, supposedly there's 2 more trailers. Teaser trailers. The next one's going to focus on the X-Men, and then it's going to be like an actual snippet of Doom. And then I heard they're going to release the full trailer on Super Bowl. Correct.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm done with all these teaser trailers, to be honest with you, and I'm done with all the rumors of like, oh, Deadpool's going to fight Reed Richards. I just read that today. Like, I don't know if there's just like throwing it out there just to get people more hyped because they're going to see like 55 fights in this movie. But like, I think the movie's going to be awesome, but it's like, stop dropping like this person's be fighting this person's going to be in these, like all the information coming out. I'm just like, enough, please, enough with this.
Yeah, I think Disney's feeling the heat that they know that they don't have another big release for a while. And that they're just going to have to coast on Avatar sales for quite some, and Zootopia 2 sales, which again, they made a shitload of money between those two. So I'm not crying for Disney whatsoever. However, their 2026 slate is a lot of wait and see.
Yep.
So that I think they're feeling like they need to keep the hype train up for those.
Oh,
but that Sky Rizzy thing made me laugh so hard. The music works so well. The pacing of it, how it was so slow, and just how him with the baby and everything, like it synced up so well that I was like, this is what the internet's like it used to be for. That's exactly what we used to do the best of anybody. But it's been a while, so it just shocked me how great that was.
No, that's funny. That makes me laugh. But
yeah,
they're going to keep this hype train rolling. They're going to get people just into fever pitch, and this movie's going to just explode when it comes out in theaters. I'm telling you.
Well, because it's the hope factor of like that we could recapture something that's been kind of away for 5-6 years now, and by this point, almost 7.
Almost 7,
yeah, it's gonna be rough. But let's hope. Let's hope. You got a question for me?
I got a question for you, buddy. Here we go. So is Josh Safdie winning the Best Safdie Award for 2025 after seeing Marty Supreme?
Yes, 1,000% yes. And that's not just from us being underwhelmed by the Smashing Machine. This is because Marty Supreme is my 3rd 5-star movie of the year.
Woo!
If you like the Safdie madness, like your good time, your uncut gems, etc., where people are just on full fucking tilt the entire movie, run and gun, an unhealthy amount of bravado or with a slight amount of stupidity, and just constantly running and gunning, and then add the fact that this is based on a true story where a lot of this stuff may or may not happen. You'll be watching it going, are you crazy? This all led to this? Are you crazy? The movie is impeccable. This is, for how much we loved and still love, Sinners and One Battle After Another, Timothée Chalamet's performance, it's right up there with DiCaprio and Michael B. Jordan. Like it's right up there with how much he has to do and how electric he is and on fire he is for an entire movie. But again, I was also a person who loved Sandler in Uncut Gems and loves Uncut Gems a lot. So if it resonates with you in that way, this movie will too, and maybe even more.
So did it bump any of your number 1 and 2 movies out of the way? Like,
I'm still unsettled with that.
So you're still processing.
And part of me wants to do the like rewatch of things, but just to say that it's even close should tell you a lot about this movie. That you need to run to go see Marty Supreme. And I encourage anybody out there. And it's making good money for the fact that Timothée Chalamet is really the only star here, and it's such a smaller kind of quirky movie. But yeah, it's incredible like how good it is. And this late in the game, this is what I like. That one movie that's just gonna drop a bomb in the middle of everybody's kind of like end of the year rankings and thoughts on award season going forward. And even I think if I'm not mistaken, the odds are shortening for like this One Battle After Another domination going into the Oscars. That there's, you know, it's tough because a movie like this, you're really going to have Timothée Chalamet driving a lot of it, where best actor and something like, you know, and best picture being tied into it. But if they don't believe in it enough, if you're not seeing Safdie up for best director, if you're not seeing this movie up for, you know, best screenplay or any of those type of things or best editing, then the Academy doesn't believe in it as much. But if you start seeing those things happen, watch out.
Okay.
Watch out.
Yeah, you know, so he makes you care about ping pong. That always makes me laugh. Like who cares about
ping pong? And it's well done. Like
right.
It is like Forrest Gump level on steroids. Like you believe that he is this good and that he is this intently like gifted, you know, that he's just like, he thinks he's got this God gift that he's just going to do all this crazy shit to make sure that he can have this lifestyle. It also is like, wow, ping pong was that big, even globally, like parts all over the globe to play. He said he played Wembley Stadium for like the finale of the British Open of ping pong.
That's crazy. That is insane. Isn't it? That's insane.
Like, I don't know which is more crazy, that actually was a thing, or that, like, you know, this guy's running and gunning where people are getting like blown up or murdered or people's dogs being kidnapped and shit, all because he needs to get money to fly to a tournament. Like that, I don't know which is crazier to me, honestly. All right, so next question for you, sir, because this movie you did catch in the same way I did. Is the family from Song Sung Blue the most cursed family ever recorded, and should they be investigated by the Warrens?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just couldn't believe just the events that like they were in their lives, like the Kate Hudson
the worst luck I've ever seen.
Yeah, like I'm just talking about like this particular question at the moment before we get into the movie. But to get blindsided by a car is one thing. To have it happen again.
Almost happen again. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And at that scene, I thought maybe she was like still on drugs and dreaming. I thought it was like a dream. Yes. I was like, there's no way that's real. And then it was. And then you got the, you know, lightning character. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, he's going to have a heart attack on stage. Like, this is good. I mean, I was close, but like, wow. Like, just.
Unwed teenage mother in between?
Yeah. Just, oh my God. Like, what?
And the fact that this guy had the worst job you can possibly imagine in the military before all this, too.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I can't even imagine that job in Vietnam. Like, no.
Nope.
Yeah. So
just climbing over dead bodies, all that stuff. And having them both be in some like deep therapy stuff for either pills or alcohol or anything in between. So, yeah, man, this, and it's such a, and again, like to almost be like the Marty Supreme conversation, I don't know which is more unbelievable, that all those things happen to this family, or that a Neil Diamond Experience cover band opened for Pearl Jam. And then I saw online somebody posted the actual video. Somebody has video evidence of Eddie Vedder coming on stage and singing with them and
That
showing the real concert.
that is crazy. Like, that whole thing is
Yeah.
crazy. I kept thinking to myself, I never heard of this band. Never.
No.
Like, like,
Why would you?
Yeah, why would I, right?
Yeah.
But geez, man. But the thing is, I was rocking with this movie, and I'm not a Neil Diamond guy. Like, if I hear Sweet Caroline one more time, my head's gonna explode. Like,
Sure.
But he's not awful. But like, I was into the songs, I was into the performances. I thought Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson were dynamic together. Like, I was rolling. It was putting me in a good mood till the whole cursed family aspect came in. I was like, Jesus Christ! But I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought at times, though, the director here lingered on some shots for too long on certain scenes. And I thought, like, scenes should have ended shorter than they were. I thought he dragged some of the scenes along. But
Right.
you go to this movie for the performances of Jackman and Hudson. But I will say, getting back to the unwed preg teen, I thought she was a hidden treasure in this movie. I loved Ella Anderson's performance in this movie.
So you know it's fucking crazy, dude? She is in a Nickelodeon show that my kids watch, that I was just looking at her the whole time like, I know her. And then I looked it up. She's the little sister in Henry Danger.
That's where she's from?
Yeah. She was Piper, that really annoying younger sister in Henry Danger. That's her. And I was like, oh my God, she has the same attitude here. This is wild.
Because I like you, I'm staring at her, and I didn't want to look her up. I'm staring at her. I'm like, I know her from somewhere. Like, I know it. But I thought she had a really solid performance in this movie. And
she carried it. Good portions. Yeah.
As tragic as this movie was in certain aspects, I still had a good time watching this movie, man. Jackman was really good.
Yeah, I was thinking, again, this movie has been kind of pitched as a borderline awards player. And I will say, at its highs, you absolutely feel it. You feel, though I think the toughest part was the in-between. I think in the middle, it really sags. And I think, and partially it's by design, right? Because that's when the tragedy stuff happens, right? So, it's going to get sour. But with that said, Kate Hudson, I don't know, like, that was a very awkward transition, and she's not exactly pulling everything off, and her in and out Wisconsin accent doesn't help either. And there was some other things that kind of just bothered me. And then they start to add layers of like the extra kick in the teeth of like the pregnancy or these other things that go wrong, or Hugh Jackman's added health history, that complicates things too. It almost felt cartoony. Like, it almost felt like this is too much, to where they should have maybe, I don't know how they could dance around it. Again, it's one of those like bizarrely true stories. It felt like the slightly like hammed up register biopic version of Iron Claw, like their problem, where they knew they had so many deaths that they took deaths off the table because they knew it was going to be so sad, and so like unbelievably sad if they did the true story as true as possible. Where this one had kind of that effect, to where it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Shouldn't there be a city planner in front of their house going, why that house is a target for car accidents right in their front lawn? So that alone, let alone all this time, the fact that their characters are laughing about it I actually appreciated that. Like, you mentioned that before, but it's like, damn, man, like, how is this it can't be true. There's so many of this that can't be true. I want to know, like, is most of this true or all of this true? Because like, even just how the movie ends with Jackman's situation, I'm like, are you kidding me? Did he have it just on the cusp of meeting his idol? Like, all those things that felt a little over the top. And if that is over the top, like didn't happen, I'm gonna be upset about it.
I have thought about that. In my personal, and I haven't looked up. I wanted to, but just kind of like got sidetracked. So I wanted to look up the internet and like look up and see how true that was. My gut feeling, without looking anything up, was I do believe in the two cars there. I think the second one for me was like her emotional like breakthrough and her getting over everything. But I think the Hugh Jackman thing, to me, I think that was added in just for the movie to make it more just kind of like hit you in the head.
Right.
Because I'm like, come on, what are the odds? He gets through his concert, and then right as he's about to meet Neil Diamond, he goes out. I just find that was just kind of extra cheese squeezed into the movie just to make us kind of feel.
I also want to know more about that Thai restaurant.
Yeah,
that
right?
seemed like, are you kidding me too? Where they're like not only into it, but he like had a loss that they connected over, and he's there in the front row watching them in the like. Good God, like this seems made up, but you're just like,
but
if any of it's true, you're just like, holy shit, really?
And it was good to see Jim Belushi again. I haven't seen him in forever.
He was good.
Chris Imperioli, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Imperioli, yeah.
Imperioli, yeah.
Sopranos.
Yeah. I liked him in this movie as well. I would have never,
especially in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never picture him casted as a Buddy Holly.
No, and that's part of the joke.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Buddy Holly died in his 20s, and he's like still playing it in his 50s or whatever.
I just would have never connected the two. But no, I thought the casting was good in this movie as well. Like again, I enjoyed Belushi and all that stuff. So yeah, I had a good time with this movie, man.
Also, every time I just felt so bad for Jackman just having that haircut for so long. It got like Oompa Loompa-ish at times to where I was like, if he gets a spray tan, people are going to get confused.
Oh, geez. So I did grade this movie. I gave it a 3.5.
That's the highest I think it could get. If I'm in the best of moods with it, I guess that's where I can go. But part of me wants to just knock it a little bit. And I wonder if the rewatch value is not going to be as good. And again, especially not being in a movie theater with those big songs blasting and the energy of all those performances, I think that's where it's not going to hold up as much. But it's somewhere in that 3.5 range.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can have a good time and you will probably get emotionally involved, welled up at times.
Right.
And you know me, I'm a big baby. Like there's always going to be
I am too. Yeah, I am too.
Yeah. So let's end on something fun here, Shane. Not as if like multiple car accidents are fun, right? Yeah, it's good. You caught Anaconda over this holiday period. The choices we make. We'll get to that in a second. The question for you is, will Jack Black and Paul Rudd's Anaconda end up making more money than the original J-Lo Anaconda? The original made $136 million worldwide. The new one has already made 43.5 since Christmas Day. So what is that? 4-day total, 5-day total?
Yep.
So what do you think? Does this have a possibility, especially because that 43.5 is split between worldwide, or split between international and domestic. So do you think this has a shot to cross that money threshold?
I'm going to say no. Say no. I think it's going to lose steam very fast. I didn't have high hopes. Not the word I want to use, but I did think it'd be just a fun time at the movie theater with this cast, right? Steve Zahn is in this as well. Like, I like the premise of the movie. The problem was it had its moments, but it just fell flat in a lot of areas, and there were a lot of scenes where it just kind of dragged along. So for people who don't know, it's these group of friends, and Paul Rudd plays an actor who's like on the down and outs. Jack Black wants to be a director, but they're all friends and at one place, and they end up having the opportunity to remake Anaconda through Jack Black's vision. So they go to the Amazon and yada yada yada. Again, there were some really funny moments, but this is like, you see the cast and you see the potential in this movie, but the writing was so like just not strong enough for this cast at all. Like, it was good to see Black and Rudd and Zahn, and it just didn't hit. It just, again, there are a lot of chunks of this because they introduced a secondary story with another character that gets involved with this group. Didn't care much
Right.
for. It goes in a different direction. I thought the best part, there was an Ice Cube cameo at the end.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's there.
I figure somebody from the original cast had to show up at some point.
Yeah, it was Ice Cube, and that was a fun scene. Like, the last scene when they were actually fighting off the Anaconda was fun, but a lot of
Right.
stuff up there was not. It's like they didn't know how funny they should go between like funny and some horror elements, which they kind of did. And then you actually get a cameo from J-Lo at the very end of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I thought she wouldn't touch this movie with a 10-foot pole.
Nope, she was in the very last scene of the movie.
Okay.
So
All right.
it had potential. It's entertaining in spots. I ended up giving it 2.5. It's just one of those movies.
I think that's the best you can ask for. Like,
Yeah.
to me, when I'm looking at the trailer, I'm like, this is probably one of the thinnest premises you could possibly imagine, that they're just going to rely on these two massive funny stars to make, and three, obviously, if you want to toss in Zahn too, but, you know, to make it a crazy jungle freakout movie and just have, you know, set piece after set piece after set piece of just Looney Tunes-esque kind of crazy stuff that happens after they, you know, lose the original snake, because that's what they show in the trailer.
Yep.
So to me, I'm like, if there's enough meat on those set pieces, like, then you have a movie. If there's limited, then like your like literally your rating potential is just going to go down and down and down to where those go. Where at the most, this could have been a topped out at a 3.5 at best.
Yeah.
Like if it just hit every note possible. But yeah, I figured it was probably going to be around where you said. And I'm glad for the extra cameos. That actually makes it a little more enticing, I think, to people who are like, all right, well, if you want like a fun, schlocky little thing, again, the Anaconda movie like takes itself seriously, but then also is kind of like silly for that. Like it's kind of got that B movie cultish thing going on. Like in the same way, like Lake Placid was we're actually making this a dark comedy version of that. It's almost like a parody of those movies. And this is the next level after that. So if you were to like compare like a Lake Placid to this movie, is this just like they went full ham versus like kind of like a dark comedy or like parody version like Lake Placid?
They went more full ham in this.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of the jokes, a lot of the character development, a lot of the relationships, I mean, it's so paper thin. And what should have been funnier, like I said, just wasn't. When you have Black and Rudd together, like there should have been more like just in that script for them. Even though, like you said, like the premise is so thin, and it is, and it pokes fun at itself. You know, it's kind of meta in that way, but it just, the writing wasn't strong enough, and they try to go full ham and just for the cheesy, like just jokes that you see coming from a mile away, and it's like, yeah, okay, so
yeah.
And
well,
I just think
I look forward to.
I just think the word
it's on streaming.
Yeah, I just think the word of mouth after people see it, I don't think it's going to elevate the movie. I think more people are going to stay away from it. If they were on the fence and the reviews are coming out, the critics are killing it, and just talking to people, I just don't think it's going to like get to that mark. That's just.
I think if it doesn't make a considerable amount of money this week, it's dead.
Yeah.
So if we're talking that it gets up to, if it crosses 100 million by the time we get to like the end of this upcoming weekend or something, that might be where it could possibly get to the old number, the threshold there. But other than that, I don't see it either. But again, like here's the one takeaway that I saw, that I was just looking at that number and I go, damn, Jack Black has a stranglehold on Hollywood. Like between his animated stuff, the Minecraft stuff, just all these kids' movies, everything, people just associate him so much with fun that they'll just be like, oh, whatever. whatever he does, we'll take the kids. It'll be fun. We'll just have a silly couple hours and go home. And that's exactly what this was. And honestly, I looked at the release date and I was just like, God, why would you, even think about going up against, probably one of the big awards hitters? You got Avatar, you got Zootopia, you got all this stuff. Like, why would you even possibly put a movie there when if you put it a few weeks later in a dead January, it might crush, or as like the only option? But I think this is right. It's where like a bunch of families are going to the movie theater and they just happen to see like, oh, that seems fun. Maybe we should go do this after we see Avatar. Or we should go, or maybe this is like, I'm not into the Avatar series, or I haven't still watched the second one. So why don't we just go see Anaconda?
Yeah, that's what it was. I took my kids. Like, we went on Christmas Day. Right. That was our Christmas movie. Yeah. And they both liked it. For people who already saw Zootopia and aren't Avatar fans, it's like, here you go. Yep. So.
Excellent. Well, good job by you from covering the range. Like, I went out and saw Marty Supreme. Unfortunately, you were not able to, but at least you got to go to Anaconda to make sure that we had that covered. And didn't you also see the SpongeBob movie too? So you've been all over.
You want to talk about one of the worst movies of the year? Jeez, Crow. Oh, don't make me relive that.
I would have to go in the death match between watching that or watching Smurfs again. So
it's tough.
For like the parents' worst nightmare of the year.
And the thing I laughed at is like SpongeBob the cartoon. Yeah, it's been around forever. My son's into it, and like singular episodes, they're funny to me. Some of them are really funny. So I was expecting to at least have a decent time, but I don't think I laughed one single time. And I just kept looking at my clock like, when is this going to end? So,
but what did the kid think?
Oh, he liked it. Of course, he was all into it. But I was expecting some parent jokes that went over the kids' heads. Kind of like a Teen Titans situation, and it just never had anything.
That show is great.
Oh, it's great, and the movie was hysterical, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, though it goes to the movies.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Well, again, tremendous job, tremendous year that we're having. We're going to obviously cross over into the new year still on fire, because we are going to talk. We're going to probably do 2 separate episodes, Shane. We're getting into deep, because we're going to do our instant reactions to the Stranger Things season 5 series finale that we're going to see in the movie theaters on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, as you mentioned before. And then we have our best films of 2025 draft that we will do upcoming as well. So, man, if there's any time to subscribe or tell a friend to jump on board, because we're going to have so much fun between whether we're apoplectically mad or, insanely overjoyed with the fact that, this series that we love and have followed for the last decade has got themselves back on track. That should be a fun experience. And then, of course, no better way to celebrate the movies of 2025 than putting them in fun categories and getting mad at each other for not getting the picks that we want. So it's the only way to do it.
Love it.
So that'll be fun. Be sure to come back for that. Follow us on the socials at Recent Act Pod, where Shane's going to keep cranking out his. I think I had this. It was a shower moment I had recently. We should call these solo missions, recent activities solo missions.
I like
little
that.
Like one-off videos that you're reviewing.
I like that. And I actually have one coming out. I'm going to record one this week for the movie Neighborhood Watch, which not the Vince Vaughn vehicle, but this is on Hulu. I was about to say, yeah. It's on Hulu with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jack Quaid. So be on the lookout for that one. Yeah, it was interesting.
Is that the one with the serial killer plot?
No serial killer
Okay,
plot.
So that was a different Jack Quaid movie. All right, never mind. All right. No, I have to look into that one, see what's up with that. And then obviously, if you want to catch Shane's review of that, if you catch that movie on Hulu, be sure to follow us at Recent Act Pod. And like I said, it's been a great year. Thank you all for listening this long. And we hope that when we're doing bigger and bolder things, hopefully into 2026, that you stay along with us and bring along a few friends. So we will see you on the flip side for more recent activity.